Hey there, and welcome back to this episode of the Get Good at Business podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Proctor, and your business coach, helping you get good at business so you can get back into the heart of why you got into business in the first place. And today I'm so excited to share with you my predictions for what the rest of 2024 is going to look like. And in fact, I have 3 key things that I think you as a business owner should be paying attention to, if you aren't already, for the rest of 2024 to help set you up for success, especially if you are feeling this massive shift starting to happen in your business. I'm seeing so many business owners, members of our Get Good at Business Mastermind, clients that I'm working with in Quantum Power Days, seeing a lot of people in the business world starting to make some shifts to their business, starting to take some new directions. And these key things that you need to keep in mind for 2024 are going to help support that even further. So let's get down to business. Number 1 thing that I believe is going to be crucial, absolutely crucial in 2024, is storytelling. We are in a world that is surrounded by so much information, right? Add ChatGPT, Google, any other automation, AI tools, any other search functionality, like we are being bombarded. It's not enough anymore to share 1, 2, and 3 things that you need to know for 2024. Instead, you need to start sharing stories. And story time for me, right? I have found that the more I'm able to share stories, the more my audience is able to connect with me. Because your audience can actually put themselves in your shoes and follow along with you as you tell your stories. When you're sharing just high value, super valuable, great information, that's awesome. But if you can share a story in the process of that, now your audience feels connected to you, they are engaged with you, and they got the high value out of that. I could share this exact same video and this exact same podcast in here's 1, 2, 3 things you need, thanks, bye. But I know that the value of storytelling, especially throughout the rest of the year here in 2024, is so crucial because it helps you stand out. And when we look at storytelling, there's also an authenticity that comes through because you're telling your stories or your stories with your clients. So back to story time. I find it with myself, but I'm also finding it with my clients. And in fact, I have one client right now that she wasn't sharing stories. She was sharing high value content and not seeing a lot of results, right? Not seeing the clients coming in, not getting the feedback or even the engagement on her content. So we started looking at going, okay, what do we need to do here? We're sharing the how, but we're not invoking a spirit into your content. And so I told her, hey, start sharing stories. You talk about this, share a story of how you did that in your life. And what's crazy is her engagement went through the roof. And she started booking sales calls because on top of the storytelling, when she was sharing the high value, it was high value, here's what you do, thanks, bye. In the storytelling, she was able to bring them in, get them engaged, and then also say, if you wanted to learn more or how to do this for yourself, or you even have a story like this that you would love to share with me, I would love to hear it. Let's schedule a time to talk. And she started getting all of these conversations coming into her DMs and on her comments, setting up times to chat with her. And she hit her financial goals, which she had been struggling to hit for months, in 1 month, 4 weeks in her business. And it's because we enacted the storytelling component. I want to share another story of another client, right? She had gotten all in her head that you have to do short form video. This woman is a master storyteller. But she had gotten in her head that short form video was the only way to be successful, which we know is not true. And she's like, I just can't tell a good story in 2 seconds. It was like, cool, no problem. We can figure it out. You don't have to do short form if you don't want to. If it's limiting your ability to be able to tell stories, let's go long form. Let's go live. Let's keep the audience engaged through storytelling. And lo and behold, she was finally able to step back into her storytelling, into that longer form. And every time she goes live, every time she tells a story, she signs up a client. So storytelling is the future of 2024 and of business owners, because 2024 is about creating that personal brand and that personal connection. We are being bombarded with AI, bombarded with information, bombarded with automation, and people want, your clients want to connect with you on a deep, real, visceral level. And storytelling is the way to accomplish that. Now, your second thing that you need to be aware of is video. Now, we know TikTok and everything else really started taking off the end of 2019 and into 2020. So if you're not already doing video in some way, shape, or form, like, it is time. Because people want to see you. They want to see your energy, your vibe. I talk with my hands like all the time, and I'm flipping my hair and all these things. And these are these small pieces that you can't get with AI. These are these small pieces that make a difference and allow your audience to connect with you. So if you're not doing video, that can be long, that can be live, that can be short form, there needs to be some video play to truly help you make those connections with your audience and make 2024 the best year yet. And I mentioned, if you are a business owner going through a shift, this is the opportune time to really lean in on video. Share that shift, share the story, share the background, share the mindset, because your audience will be on the edge of their seat wanting to learn more and see the outcome, and they start to fall in love with you and your energy. Now, the third thing is having a consistent brand. It's crazy to me, we're going to share a story here, right? But it is crazy to me how having a consistent brand has made such a difference in my business. I will have people send me messages, most random things, and like, hey, I saw this orange straw and I thought of you. Or I saw this infinity sign and I thought of you. Or, oh, here's an orange car, made me think of you, right? And that's so amazing, because it's my brand, the orange, the infinity sign, the vibrancy, that attracts the right audience. But by having a consistent brand where my imagery shows up, where my fonts are the same, where my colors are consistent, now it creates a level of consistency in the mind of customers, consumers, clients. And they're thinking of you when they see something. They see something that they're like, wow, that made me think of them. And now it's like, oh yeah, what are they up to? What are they doing? Or, I actually have been saving my money to work with them and I have it now. Let's see what that looks like. And again, I see this in my own business all the time. And I'm so grateful for having a consistent and, I'm going to say, high level brand, because I'm able to show up over and over and over again in a consistent way, which builds the know, like, and trust factor with an audience, with you. So as we look at what 2024 looks like and the shifts for that, as you're going through those shifts, remember these key three things. Start leaning in, really leaning in and telling stories. And actually, we had a guest on the podcast for the Business Owners Get Good at Business Highlight podcast today. And they were talking about how just showing up as themselves and in that energy and looking at their life like every day is a story to share has transformed their business beyond 6 figures. And like, that's amazing. So start leaning into, you are a storyteller. Then tell those stories on video. Crucial. Tell those stories on video so the audience can see you, can see your energy, can see your vibe, can decide if they like you or not, and then follow along. And third and final is have that consistent brand. Now that can be colors, that can be textures, that can be fonts, that can be imagery, that can be logos, can be so many things, but lean heavily into building something that shows up consistently and shows consistently for your business. And as you're making these shifts, be very mindful of what it looks like to do a rebrand, or what it looks like as your brand evolves and shifts, as your business evolves and shifts, and maintain some semblance of that consistency. So that is today's podcast episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm so excited to have you here getting good at business alongside me and alongside each other. One thing I want to note is that if you do want to get good at business beyond just listening to these episodes, which I hope are very high value for you, you can also join the Get Good at Business Mastermind. It is a monthly mastermind where we are dedicated, and it is designed to help you get good at business. We have an hour dedicated towards networking each month, 2 hours dedicated towards training within the I-MOVE method, which stands for Intuition, Marketing, Operations, Velocity, and Execution, helping you get good at business, and also 2 hours dedicated to hot seat Q&A, getting your questions answered in real time. And we also have weekly co-working if that body doubling and that support for implementation is something that you need. So that said, I want to suggest that you check out the Get Good at Business Mastermind. It's only $27 for your first month to get your feet wet and $97 a month after that. So check out the link in the comments and check out the mastermind. But in the meantime, be sure to like, share, and subscribe if this episode resonated with you, and share it with other business owners who may be going through that shift and looking for the top 3 things that they should be focusing on in 2023. So thanks so much for joining me today, and tune in next time. We'll see you later.